Welcome to New Stripe City, a YouTube channel for die-hard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie. A big shout out to my subscribers, and if you're new here and absolutely love the Bengals and absolutely hate the Squealers, be sure to bang that subscribe button. If you think the Browns are trash, if you think the Ravens are trash, if you think the Pittsburgh Squealers are trash, be sure to like this video. A new thing we're doing is trying to shout out our subscribers at the end of every show. So be sure to subscribe. Make sure you comment your username for a shout out. We're also doing a 3,000 subs Madden 19 giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe, comment, and share this post to be entered, and be sure to tag our Twitter at New Stripe City. When the Bengals returned to practice on Monday, they also received their leader on defense as Vontaze Burfict returned to practice as he was activated off of the NFI list. Burfict is obviously facing a PED suspension, but he's back just before the Bengals' first preseason game, and so it's expected that he will actually not start that game. It looks like Jordan Evans will start, so hopefully Vontaze is able to get back before the second preseason game. Wide receivers Auden Tate and Josh Malone also returned to practice, along with quarterback Logan Woodside. And John Ross was said to continue his case of drops with Monday's practice, which began Saturday. So that has continued. Rookie Sam Hubbard has continued to stand out, and especially seems to be getting some pressure there. According to John Sheeran, he had 3 total pressures. And the biggest news of camp came out when the Bengals released their first depth chart. We talked about Trey Hopkins and Bobby Hart starting, and it looks like that's where they're at. They're penciled in as the starters at right guard and right tackle. So your right guard for right now is going to be Trey Hopkins, and your starting right tackle is Bobby Hart. Not Cedric Ogbuehi, not Jake Fisher. So that was one of the biggest shockers coming out, but if you've been listening to these videos, it wouldn't be a shocker to you. Obviously, Cordy Glenn and Billy Price were also listed as starters at the left tackle and center position. Tyler Boyd was penciled in as the number 2 starting receiver, and Boyd and Green are backed up by John Ross and Josh Malone. This is interesting though, because Boyd has mostly played the slot receiver position, but is listed as the starting number 2. Another shock was Andrew Billings is actually starting over Chris Baker at the nose tackle position. Most expected him to lose his job when the Bengals signed Chris Baker, but Billings has had a good camp and is easily starting as the nose tackle. Jesse Bates is backing up George Iloka. Michael Johnson is listed as the starter over Jordan Willis, who's backing him up, while Sam Hubbard is listed as backing up Carlos Dunlap. In a weird twist, Carl Lawson wasn't starting, but that's expected. Don't get freaked out. He's always going to be a guy that isn't going to start necessarily, but will probably have more snaps than Jordan Willis and Sam Hubbard from that edge rusher position, so don't fret about that. To round things up, Vontaze Burfict, Preston Brown, and Nick Vigil are listed as the starters. So that is what we have so far from the highlights of Monday's practice, as well as the depth chart. Now, Marvin Lewis doesn't like these because these are never really set in stone, but this just gives you an idea of where they're at. So as this video comes to a close, it's now time for the shout outs. Shout out to Tim Clough, Eric from Oklahoma, JJ Probst, I hope I'm saying that right, from Beaver Dam, David Snare, Christian Schnorm, and D. Morrow. And as usual, I leave you guys with a who day all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.